Carl, thank you very much. And we're ready for a good one here. South Korea 2-0, Panama 2-0. Dominant pitching from both sides. This one should be good. It's presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Jay Crawford alongside Kyle Peterson. Both countries well represented with fans here. Kyle, we should see a pitcher's duel and a good one.
Yeah, this one's going to be a lot of fun. We got two power arms on the mound, and really for both sides, the power arms don't just stop with the guys that are starting today. The pitching throughout this tournament has been outstanding on both sides. Carlos Gonzalez will start for Panama. We saw him early in this tournament at third base, and every throw across the diamond looked like it was about 90 miles an hour. We understood why when he got on the mound, because his fastball's been the highest that we've seen so far here. Up to 80 miles an hour. We'll see if he gets it there today, but the control has been very good too. A power right arm.
He can throw. He can also hit. Cargo 4 of 7 with 3 RBI in this tournament. He's pitched 2 2/3 to this point. 8 of those outs, 7 of them were strikeouts. So he brings it, and he'll see a South Korea team that has pushed across 13 runs through 2 games. They won their opener 3-0 against Curacao, and then 10-0 against Canada. Jung Tae-kru will lead it off for South Korea. Carlos Gonzalez looking in for his first pitch. And we're underway. And there's that 80.
Not a bad way to start.
You see the conversion, 104 miles an hour would be the equivalent from 60 feet. That's Aroldis Chapman.
The other thing with this, and we saw it the other day, watch how good of a job Leonardo Bernal, his catcher, does. So we didn't even go up to 80 here because we generally don't see 80 here at the Little League World Series, but the equivalent of a 100+ mile an hour fastball, and the first 2 over there for a strike.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Dialed it up a little bit more on the 0-2 pitch.
Wow.
81 miles an hour for Carlos Gonzalez to start this one off.
And the South Korean kids can hit. We've seen that, but I don't know that they've seen anything like this.
No, I don't know how you could have.
Unless it was in their regional tournament. They haven't seen it here. Siem Kwan, center fielder for South Korea, will get the honors of trying to hit Carlos Gonzalez. 3 pitches, all in excess of 80 miles an hour. Squares to bunt, pulls back. Kyle, you're gloving up. You looking for one back here?
I'll tell you right now, if we get a foul ball, if we're right-handed hitter up here,
it's going to be sinking.
It's going to be a missile.
Yeah.
And I don't trust my hands.
That might not be a bad idea. I may grab one too. Wow. Another 80 mile an hour fastball. And Kyle, I imagine the South Korean kids are well aware of the velocity, and they're talking about it in the dugout.
Oh, yeah.
Got a piece of that one.
Well, you can see how good South Korea has been swinging the bats. I mean, the opponents are hitting 103. South Korea 250 points higher so far in this. They've hit 3 home runs.
That one's squared up, hit in the air to center field, but Edward Betancourt moved under it to record the out.
Pretty good right there.
I think at that point, Kyle, that's encouraging for the other South Korean hitters.
Absolutely.
Someone squared one up.
Yeah, not only squared it up, but hit it to dead center field. I mean, that's the one thing facing Gonzalez. He will supply the power. I mean, if you make contact with it, get it airborne with backspin, anybody's got a chance to hit it out today.
We could see double-digit strikeouts on both sides. I don't think there'll be a shortage of swings and misses. Shadows for the hitters.
Go ahead and make it a little bit tougher.
Yeah, right. We'll give you the ball for just a second in the sunlight, and then right into the shadow. Wow. Choi. 0 for 2 so far here at the Little League World Series. And just for good measure, he'll take something off of it.
Tries to spin one in there. It's the first time we've seen anything off speed from Carlos Gonzalez today.
Plants the seeds to the South Korean hitters. It could come at any time.
Yes, he did.
That's the other thing for these kids. It's so tough to determine ball or strike, and you've got a split second to do it. If you start, you might as well go.
You got to get the hand started early. There is no time to react at home plate. That time Min-Ho Choi got those hands started, just couldn't hold them up in time. Now at a 1-2 hole.
The 1-2. That swung on and hit down the line in right field and just fouled. Kyle missed by maybe 6 inches.
Well, they're not intimidated, that's for sure.
No, they're getting their hacks, and certainly everybody in the South Korean dugout has to be encouraged by this. Oh, that was close.
It's about 6 inches away from extra bases down the right field line. He comes back, tries to spin that breaking ball over again.
No chase there, 2-2. This is as good a Little League pitcher as you'll see in terms of the velocity.
Yeah. I've probably done this 9 or 10 years here. Maybe we've seen 3 or 4 at the most that have ever thrown 80 miles an hour.
That's up there. We talk so much about the South Korean pitchers, 30 strikeouts out of 33 innings. Panama has 27. You can add 2 to that, 29 now. It's a 1-2-3 first inning. Panama hits next.
Little League World Series is presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal. They're great! And in part by the Odyssey. From Honda, official vehicle of Little League, and Verizon. Join a better network because better matters.
Welcome back to Williamsport. It's a beautiful country, Panama. And the boys are back. And Kyle, it looks like they produced some pretty good baseball talent.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, some great history of major leaguers down there. Rod Carew, Mariano Rivera. I'm sure those are names that these kids grow up idolizing. Just over 8,700 people in their town. Think about that. They're throwing these kids out there 137 miles southwest of Panama City.
Pretty impressive indeed. I think Mariano Rivera would be proud. Let's take a look at our Panama starting lineups brought to you by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Mi nombre es Leonardo Bernal y mi jugador favorito es Salvador Pérez.
Mi nombre es Eduardo Betancourt. Mi jugador favorito es Mike Trout.
Mi nombre es Anel Calderón. Mi jugador favorito es Mariano Rivera.
Me llamo Harrison Castillo y mi jugador favorito es Yacier Puy.
Mi nombre es Manuel Cruz. Mi jugador favorito es Eric Hosmer.
Mi nombre es Abel de León y mi jugador favorito es Salvador Pérez.
Mi nombre es Carlos González. Mi jugador favorito es Johnny Céspedes.
Mi nombre es Benedicto Jaén y mi jugador favorito es Salvador Pérez.
Mi nombre es Melvin Jaramillo. Mi jugador favorito es Altuve.
Mi nombre es Smith Pineda. Mi jugador favorito es Mark Teixeira.
Mi nombre es Eduardo Rodríguez. Mi jugador favorito es José Bautista.
Mi nombre es Tomás Sarmiento y mi jugador favorito es Troy Tulowitzki.
Mi nombre es Joaquín Tejada. Mi jugador favorito es José Bautista.
Y mi nombre es José Felipe Torres. Mi jugador favorito es Alcides Escobar.
And here's how Panama's made it to this point, 2-0. Had no problem beating a good Mexico team, 10-2, and then a close one against Australia, just beating Australia by a run here earlier this week. So that was a close one. They know how to win easily and how to win the close games.
Yeah, and it doesn't get much easier for Panama offensively than it is for South Korea in this one. Jae-Kyung Kim's only thrown a third of an inning. Don't let that fool you. The only out he recorded, of course, was a strikeout because that's just kind of what South Korea does. But we saw him warming up, and this fastball run up there into the mid-70s.
His first pitch high. Tomas Sarmiento. in the air. Wow, catcher had a long way to go to get to that one, but Junseo Chow, terrific job there, Kyle. Shedding the mask and going to get it.
He's been really athletic back behind the plate, too. And this is one where your first baseman needs to go make that play. It's so much tougher for a catcher to run down because at this point now the ball's moving away from him. Now it's moving back towards the infield, so it's just tough to stay with it. As an infielder and as a first baseman, as you get older, go take that ball. Call your catcher off. You're coming in towards that play, but it's a really athletic play by Junseo Cho to make it.
Well done. Big swing and a miss for Leonardo Bernal, the catcher for Panama. We got a couple of flamethrowers in this one. And that means you got to be prepared. We're right behind home plate in the press box, high above. But if they come back here, they're coming back here in a hurry. So Kyle and I are going to gloves.
You're still playing this game. I'm not. I'm counting on you right now.
Well, you have some protective equipment, I think, right?
I do. We're going to go to it here in a minute.
Look, you got to protect yourself. Any means necessary. Foul back. Bernal 2 for 6 in this tournament with an RBI. Mom and Dad looking on.
2 strikes.
The 1-2. That had a tail to it, it looked like. 76 with a little movement.
A little two-seamer to go along with it.
Wow.
Break out a cutter here in a minute and a split. I don't know what else we're going to see on the mound today.
It's amazing. It really is. Dribble foul. When you've got one pitcher throwing 80 and another pitcher throwing 76, this might be a game, Kyle, where it's build a run. You manufacture a run or two, and that might be enough.
It could be that, or somebody just runs into one. Because I think second time through the order, we'll see it. I mean, South Korea's already taken 2 really good swings.
The 2-2. Fouled back. The winner of this one is into the international title game to be played Saturday at 12:30. The loser will move on to play a Mexico team that had no problem advancing past Australia today, 10-0. That game will be tomorrow. So pitchers at a premium, pitch count may come into play. South Korea uses a lot of pitchers in all of their games. So you might see 2 or 3 innings from several pitchers to try to keep the pitch count low.
Well, think about this. I mean, they've won 2 games. And their pitching staff has been dominant here for South Korea. They struck out 30 of 34 guys that they faced from the out standpoint. This guy's only got 2 outs so far. I mean, that's how deep they are. Make it 5.
Bernal chases the high one. And there's the first strikeout for South Korea. 2 men gone in the bottom of the first. Both these teams have scored 13 runs in winning their first 2 games. South Korea yet to be scored upon. Panama's given up 4. And that would look like it got them.
Take your base.
And it did.
Yeah, if it didn't, those are some of the quickest feet in the world.
So Carlos Gonzalez kind of looks around for a minute and now takes his base. Here's another look. Man just caught the jersey.
Yeah.
It's like that's what happened.
Bruce Klein back behind home plate. Yeah, he caught more of that one. That's going to sting there.
Yeah. So we get our first base runner.
Right about now he's thinking, you know, right field line might not have been bad today. Could have been that umpire down the line.
Big swing and a miss for Esmit Pineda. He's been fun to watch here. Just a youngster, 11 years old, Kyle, and he's one of the leading players for this Panama team.
Hit a home run in their opener. He looked great on the mound.
Looked like he wasn't quite sure on that swing. Climbs in an 0-2 hole. It's pretty impressive, Kyle. You got an 11-year-old out here dominating with the 12 and 13-year-olds. That's a nice future for the young man.
We see some 11-year-olds here from time to time, but they're usually not one of the bigger kids on the team.
Yeah.
2 strikes. 1.
5'9", 137. He's 11. He catches a growth spurt, comes back here next year.
6'1", 195.
And that one is pumped by him, so South Korea gets a pair of Ks in the bottom of the first. We're yet to push one across, looking for our first hit. No scores. We get ready for the top of the second. South Korea, Panama. Let's get down to the third member of our team, Marisol Castro. Hello, Marisol.
Hola, Jay. It's here on the Panama side of the world. You know, a lot of parents here, but believe it or not, there are 400 people in City Hall at Aguadulce watching this very game. They have a lot of support back home when they're not at City Hall. They're gathering at the home of Jose Torres. He has a nice little ranch there. So a lot of support here and a lot of support back at home.
Like it.
A lot of support here. You mentioned it earlier, Kyle. This not a huge city. It's just a little village down there.
No, this would be like a small town in the States. We're rolling these kids out.
They're producing some talent. Top of the second, no score. Still looking for our first hit. We've seen 2 strikeouts on each side so far. And now Carlos Gonzalez looking at the first hitter to start the top of the second. Blows a 78-mile-an-hour fastball right past Sunghoon Park. Gonzalez threw 13 pitches in his first inning. So we'll keep an eye on that total.
1 ball, 1 strike.
The 1-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2.
The approach from South Korea is actually very good. I know they've struck out twice, but they just missed a double down the right field line, hit a ball hard to center field already.
That one's fouled off. Sunghoon Park, big kid, 5'11", 195.
Here we go.
This could be what Pineda looks like next year.
Well, this matchup here, Gonzalez and Park, looks like your typical high school baseball matchup.
Yeah.
Here we are at the Little League World Series.
Velocity's not far off either.
No, it's not. Awfully close. Yeah. He found a spot and hit it. Evens it up at 2-2. That one's in and called strike 3.
I'll tell you this, with velocity, if you're getting that call, you don't even need to bring a bat up there. Because this is 79, 80 miles an hour. That's 2-seam with some run. Leonardo Bernal goes out and gets it, kind of frames it up. At bat probably ended the way that it should have. I think the pitch before looked to be a strike, so it's the third strikeout of the game for Carlos Gonzalez.
That might have been a makeup. Yubin Choi in now for South Korea. That catches the outside corner.
Our guy Leonardo Bernal rolling the second inning. taking a glove off, shaking that hand. I mean, it hurts. Throwing hard.
Maybe icing it between innings.
Yeah.
Wow. Fouled back and hung on to by Bernal.
Take it off, shake it around a little bit, move it around.
yeah.
I know, man. I know it hurts.
That is no fun.
Well, I'm wearing a glove.
He's probably getting thumbed down there too a couple of times. That's the fastball here. We didn't. Again, you're looking at making up your mind in a split second. It is not easy for these kids. The 1-2. And that one's in. That might set up a nice curveball on the outer half. And
the heart rate probably just went up a little bit at the home
sure.
plate. You can hear the seams go by. You know they're throwing hard.
Yuban Choi, the hitter, knows something about throwing hard. He's recorded 8 outs here, all strikeouts. That one's off, the appeal. No, we didn't.
He has some antics back there behind home plate. Head started looking straight up towards the sky when he didn't get the call there.
The 3-2 hit on the ground to Tomas Sarmiento, who throws across. Sarmiento records the out. I told you that we're prepared for the foul ball should it come back here. Yeah. Both Kyle and I, we've got the glove. You've got the catcher's glove. We've got a catcher's mask over there, too,
well,
you may go with just
yeah,
in case.
And we've kind of toyed with it. I think it's probably going to get the call at some point based on how close it gets up here. This is fun, though. I mean, just to see kids at this level that really are doing things that you just don't see. You don't see kids throw this hard and at the control that they do, and that's what it's been so far.
Won-tae Cho, the hitter for South Korea. Swings through that one. Even it up at 1-1.
One strike.
He's homered here. A couple of RBI. Called strike there. Kyle, I can't help but notice how far, and this is a brave move, but look how far up on the plate Cho is. His feet.
Yeah. Fearless.
Wow. Swings through that one. It's another strikeout for Carlos Gonzalez. We've got a heat show going on here in the international game. South Korea, Panama. We're looking for our first hit. Jay Crawford, Kyle Peterson, international game in the winner's bracket. It's Panama and South Korea. No shortage of runs for our winners so far today. Jose Leal pitched a gem for Mexico, also homered, and R.J. Moore helps power Tennessee past Iowa as they score big today to move on and stay alive. Let's take a look at our Subway Fresh Take.
Victor Juarez, too, putting on a show 2 for 2 with a home run. I would expect that we'll see him on the mound tomorrow for Mexico. Goodlettsville, Tennessee stays alive. They will play tomorrow against the loser of the nightcap up at Lomity, Kentucky, New York, both undefeated on the U.S. side. 7:30 tonight on ESPN.
That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Great pitchers for both sides, Kentucky and New York. Kentucky here a year ago, New York using Ryan Harlost and Michael Mancini. They've been one of the highlights for the U.S. side. First pitch, bottom of the second, a called strike. Joaquin Tejada. A little late there, you think?
Yeah. All right, I've seen him twice.
Tejada's had some success here, 2 for 7 with a home run. Also pitched very well, 4 1/3, 9 strikeouts, no earned runs in his work on the hill. The 0-2 is off. Bruce Klein behind the plate today for us. All the umpires here, volunteers, and they've done a really good job throughout this tournament so far, Kyle.
6 umpires in every game and replay, so it's a great job by Little League just to do everything they can to get every call right.
That one fouled back. Are we flinchy up here in the booth? Our stats guy Brett might have flinched a little.
Jumpy over there. Here, take that.
You need the mask? I'll cover you, Brett, I promise. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. It gets away, though. Great job by the catcher, Cho, to track it down and throw over to first for the out.
The art of blocking. I love it when you see kids at this age do it, because on the mound, it just gives you so much confidence when guys do this. Watch how soft that top half is and rounded. If that top half is straight, the ball's going to come up, hit off the chest protector, and go fire in one way or another. But he does a great job of keeping the top half rounded towards home plate. So when the ball hits, it doesn't go far away. Bare hands makes a strong throw.
Looks like they've been watching your tips too, Kyle.
That was good. It was really good. I love watching good catching.
Well, he took a couple of steps inside, so he had a clean angle on the throw, and no problem. So 3 strikeouts now through an inning and a third for Kim, who is throwing seeds.
Well, Rodriguez is the pinch hitter here. Not wasting time either. Gets in an 0-2 hole, but that last swing he was on it, fouled it off.
Good. No balls, 2 strikes. 1.
Jake Young Kim, 5'9". He's got a great nickname, Kyle. Stone Buddha.
I like that. Korea might be the South Korea might be the clubhouse leader as far as best nicknames.
I'm with you on that. Flying Superman, CM Kwan, that's good. They've got a smart Smurf.
Nice. Best kind of Smurf.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Minho Choi, Angry Bird. So 2-2 now to the pinch hitter Rodriguez. Already.
Yeah.
They want any way they can get it.
Half the South Korean team was asking for that appeal too.
Yeah, I know.
Wante Cho down at first, he was turning around. Chunsei Cho, the catcher.
The payoff to Edward Rodriguez. Called strike 3. So the 4th strikeout of the game for Kim.
You know, we always, with the South Korean pitchers and the Japanese pitchers, you see such an extensive windup when they come to home plate. But the one thing that they always do is they do a good job of getting up to that balance point and then taking all the power home. Nothing gets too quick at the beginning of that motion towards home plate. Jake Young Kim's doing the exact same thing. Slow at the beginning, and now all power.
Manuel Cruz pinch hitting for Panama here in the bottom of the 2nd.
Here you go.
No shortage of the velocity in this one. Just off. See if catcher Cho there telling Kim, throw strikes.
2 balls, no strikes.
This might be a pitch count game where that sort of decides what happens here. And that went right through the webbing of Cho's glove. 74 miles an hour. Kyle, South Korea's used their pitchers 2-3 innings max. What's the strategy? What is he thinking right now in the dugout as he's trying to project out?
Well, the depth is the biggest advantage, obviously, for South Korea. But if they win today, you don't have to worry about much. I still think, though, if any pitcher today goes beyond 65 pitches, that's it for the tournament.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the one number that you absolutely keep in mind. You try to win it, but I don't think you want anybody to go beyond that 65.
So Cruz draws the walk. It's Panama's second base runner as we get the special pinch runner here. Jose Torres out to run for Cruz. The first runner that Panama had was a hit by pitch. So we've had a walk, a hit by pitch, and a whole lot of strikeouts.
Jose Torres comes in to be the special pinch runner in on first base. So you can't be in the lineup. He was to start, was pinch hit for there. So it can come in as a special pinch runner for any player, once per game for that specific player, and only once per inning total.
Looks like the South Korean manager has come out to take a look at the mound.
You know, for a lot of these kids, it might be the first time that they've actually thrown on a clay mound. I mean, where you grow up, most of the mounds at this age, they're dirt because clay mounds are expensive and it takes a lot of time to update them. But I mean, as you get older, that's exactly what you're going to see. The biggest difference is there's not as many holes, and the holes there are a lot shallower than you would find on dirt. So it feels different the first time that you do it. And you can't wear metal spikes, so you can't really dig into it like you can if you're in high school or college or in the big leagues. I think that's part of what feels different out there right now for Jae-Kyung Kim is his foot's not deep into where that rubber was. It just doesn't feel the same.
And he's probably making the rut with his pivot foot, and then you've got that hole, and it's got to feel a little awkward, particularly, as you said, if you're not used to doing it. This is a whole new thing.
You want the feeling that you can push off. You can see it looks like his right foot maybe is tilting back a little bit. I think that's what he's talking about. But you want the feeling that it's deep enough that you can really use that rubber as you go to home plate. That's why you see guys dig a little bit when they get out there to start.
So some in-game groundskeeping going on. Let's take a look at the international side bracket here. These two teams both perfect at 2-0. The winner advances to the international championship game to play the winner between Mexico and the loser of this game. So we talk about a safety net here. It's a double elimination tournament. These teams have a little bit of cushion here, but you would love to get it done here, punch your ticket to the international championship game, and sort of rest your pitchers and get ready for the big one.
Yeah, 5 of the last 6 teams that have won this tournament have won their first 3 games. And so that's where the biggest advantage, I think, comes in this entire thing. There's a giant advantage to win your first 2, an even bigger advantage if you win game 3. You don't have to play tomorrow. You can rest your staff a little bit more.
All right, here we go.
Back to play. Jae-Kyung Kim, comfortable with the mound and ready to go. Abel De Leon, the pinch hitter for Mexico, or for Panama. And that is hit through the hole in the infield and into right field. And that's our first hit of the game. So how about that, Kyle? The 5-foot, 107-pound pinch hitter comes in and shows everybody how to do it.
Attaboy. He's got a bat just like everybody else. He's got to go after it. The front foot gets down in plenty of time so then the hands can just follow. Uses that hole on the right side of the infield, shoots it through for the first hit of the game.
Nice looking swing for De Leon. And we've got another pinch hitter, Harrison Castillo, as Panama gets ready to flip their lineup.
Get it. Wow. Yeah, boy. Harrison Castillo letting it eat with that first swing.
I'm watching them take infield before the game, Kyle, and Castillo, light on his feet, moves well down there at third base. Has a nice looking swing, too. So this next pitch will be the 35th for Kim. And it's off for ball one. So a bit of a rally here now. Panama with runners at first and second, 2 out. Scoreless game, bottom of the second. This is the game of the undefeateds on the international side, and Kim humped up a little bit and threw that one by him. That one's lifted in the air to right, and Park just missed it. Covered some ground to get there, but ran out of space.
What aggressive swings this entire at bat from Harrison Cancio. You can see the outfield too. That's why Park was so close to it. They're really playing him the other way.
He's fine. As long as he's on the line, we're good. Okay? He's on the line, we're good. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think the Korean catcher is asking the umpire to get Castillo back in the box, but he's saying he's fine. He's on the line. And Kim throws it by him. A swing and a miss for another strikeout. We played 2. We're looking for our first run. Scoreless, South Korea and Panama as we get set for the top of the third. Let's look at these valuable lessons brought to you by True Value.
Hey, I'm with Anthony from Team California. He's going to show you how to block the baseball. So we're going to gear up, and the key right here, ball on either side of the plate. Try to get that top half angled towards home plate. Ball stays closer to you. Ideally, that ball's right on home plate. Then the infielders can see it, the pitcher can see it, and the base runners can see it. They can't go anywhere. Take that mask off. Good job of moving the body. Round the top half. Stay soft. Keep the ball right in front. Then those base runners can't go anywhere. Way to go, bud.
Well, Junsei Show showing you exactly how to do this earlier, too. When a ball that's down in the dirt, the whole body, the blocking component is to use your body, not necessarily your glove, and you can see where this ball ends up. Right in the chest protector. It doesn't go far. Watch when he bare hands this. The base runner is still in the other batter's box. That's how close the ball was to him. And then he's got time to clear himself from the runner. The other thing, if it stays close to you, if it goes off to one side or off on the other, that's when a base runner can really see it. If it's directly in front of the catcher and not far, if you're out on first, second, or third base, you can't tell how far away that ball is. It's a lot tougher to take the extra base.
Very well done on the fundamental side. Back to action, top third now. It's been a game of strikeouts. Carlos Gonzalez has been dealing for Panama. He's got 4 strikeouts through 2. And on the other side, how about 5 strikeouts through 2?
Strikes. Play. Out.
Sung Kim fouls that one off to go to 0-2. Kyle, talk about the importance of these kids getting right up on home plate. We've seen both players from both sides do it.
I think for a lot of kids at this age, you're reluctant to throw the fastball inside anyway. It's just not something you're comfortable with. And so one of the things it does is it kind of shrinks the plate a little bit. We've seen it from right-handers and left-handers crawling on top of the plate. So if it is a fastball on the outside part of the plate, if you're on top of it, to a hitter, it almost looks like it's right down the middle. If he's throwing this hard, I'm not quite sure if it matters all the time. And this time, it almost looks like a knuckleball. You could see it.
Yeah.
Going the Messina knuckle curve.
That's
right
a knuckle
here because
curve.
that's exactly what it is. See
Look
how
at
it
the
comes out of his
drop on
hand.
it. Wow. All right, so I throw 80, and here comes the knuckle curve just for fun.
We got to get Moose over here to see that.
That's impressive.
That's one thing I've never seen a 12, 13-year-old kid do. We saw Spike breaking ball yesterday. His is a legit knuckle curve.
Oh, he got treatment.
That had great movement on it, too. And you mix that in with an 80-mile-an-hour fastball, and you're guessing now.
It's good morning, good afternoon, good night.
2 balls, no strikes.
But 2-0 hole right here. South Korea just needs a base runner. They haven't had one yet.
That is in there for a strike.
We're good.
Jake Young Kim doing a terrific job on the hill for South Korea. Looks at ball 3 there. So they could have their first base runner. The 3-1. And that's in there for a strike. Kim thought he had ball 4. Come on back. Payoff. Foul back. 79-mile-an-hour fastball. How'd you like this one? Yeah. He's going to give himself a little breather here.
Bruce Klein's had a rough one.
He has. That's what happens when you got a couple of guys that throw in the 70s and in Cargo's case up to the 80s. Take a beating back there.
I want to make you take a deep breath right there. He's taken a few and just missed one there.
So we'll do it again. 3-2. Wow. Okay, that's a big league pitch, Kyle.
Watch the lack of rotation on this and the way that it comes out of Carlos Gonzalez's hand. So the fastball's been 80, 81 miles an hour. Watch the grip. So it's the 2 fingers in that are they're on as a knuckle, and then when he throws it, he's really going to push those fingers off. Traditional knuckleball, you're not trying to throw it hard. This one, any spin that it has, you're trying to just give it a little bit of top to bottom spin. That's a 12, 13-year-old kid throwing a knuckle curve after throwing 80 miles an hour.
Kyle, you know there are big leaguers that have tried their entire careers to master that pitch. And it might be one of the most difficult pitches to throw, and he's throwing it with absolute precision.
You know, I got to college and I was trying to find something that would spin. It was fastball, changeup for the most part in high school. I never had a very good breaking ball, and so ultimately I ended up going to a spike. But I didn't do it until I got to college. I could never do that. I mean, first of all, you got a big hands to do it.
Yeah.
And these baseballs, from a circumference standpoint, are basically the same thing that you have in a major league.
Sure.
So it's not like it's significantly smaller. That's just hard to do.
Here we go.
Well, he's mastered it. He's getting just enough rotation on it to get the downward movement, and I want to see the young man that puts that into play. That's impressive. Junso Cho now, 5'2", 125, 2 for 4 in this Little League World Series. Looks at ball 2.
2 balls, no strikes.
Cho looking down for the sign. And that's in there for a strike. The 2-1. And that's in for a strike as well. Cho, the 9-hitter in the lineup. You almost get the sense that they wanted him to see some pitches, try to get that pitch count up there.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking until you get to 2 strikes here, especially when you get to 2-0.
See if he throws that knuckle curve again.
Here we go. Play.
Maybe not get too fancy. He's gripping. That one's hit on the ground, up the middle. It's going to be a tough play, but terrific work by Tomas Sarmiento to field it and throw across for the final out of the inning. South Korea struggling with Carlos Gonzalez. We're scoreless in the winner's bracket game at the International Little League World Series. Welcome back to the Little League World Series presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Panama hitting bottom third, no score. Your aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. We said it in the open, Kyle. It's going to be a pitcher's duel, and we've seen some of the finest pitching that we have watched all tournament long.
You know, if you're just a fan of baseball, if you just like the game, this one's fun just to watch, because you've got kids at a relatively young age that have a really high baseball IQ and a really high level of talent right now, and it's been fun so far. We're not even halfway home.
You get the sense this one's going to be decided once the starters are out of it, almost like a playoff game in the big leagues.
Yeah.
What kind of bullpen do you have? And we might get into that in this one. First pitch from Jae-Kong Kim is in for a strike. Pinch hitter Benedicto Jaén hitting here for Panama in the bottom half of the third.
No balls, 2 strikes. One.
That one misses. The 1-2. Hit foul. Interesting, Kyle. Panama has used all 5 subs. We're just in the bottom of the third. They've already made a lot of moves, pinch hitters.
They've got some of the kids that were in the starting lineup need to get their at bat, but those that weren't, everybody already has.
Bailing out of the box and still got a piece of that one.
Still got that bat going early enough. Yeah, that front side's kind of fallen off.
No ball, 2 strikes. One.
He puts that one in play, and it's off the third baseman Yobin Choi's glove, and we've got a base hit. So Panama has a base runner.
That cannot be an error. That cannot be an error. It scored an error right here.
They just threw an arrow.
Cannot be an error.
That would have been a terrific play.
Yeah, I mean, you've enjoyed to go two or three steps to his glove side, reach all the way out. I mean, for most kids here, they didn't even get a glove. That should be a leadoff single. At this point, it really doesn't matter. Panama's got their leadoff man on with nobody out. Now the top of the order coming back around for the second time to face Jae-Kyung Kim.
And Tomas Sarmiento will check back in. Sarmiento, the pinch runner here. So Panama now, we talked about perhaps this is a game where you build a run, try to see what you can do. And Leonardo Bernal digging in. He's the 2-hitter. You look for a bunt. And he pushes that one foul. Get him on, get him over, get him in, and that might be the key to winning this game.
This might be one that feels like right now. One might be enough. I mean, it could be a sprint to one right here just because the arms are so good on the mound. You get that leadoff man on, you got to do everything you can to push him across.
Yeah,
good decision.
Wisely done.
Now you got to touch it.
Yeah, you got to grab it as soon as it goes foul. Could kick back fair. But a terrific job by Wantai Cho to watch that one to see if it's going to kick foul. Here's a look down the first baseline. Starts off looking good.
No balls, 2 strikes. One.
So now he's probably swinging away in an 0-2 hole. Missed outside.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
It's the second meeting ever between South Korea and Panama here at the Little League World Series. They met back in 1984. South Korea won that one 4-0. That one's hit hard on the ground to third. Choi can't handle it. Comes up with it and makes a terrific throw across to record the out. Nice recovery down there at the hot corner.
Yeah, it is. As you've been Choi, that ball gets on you in a hurry. The base pass is just 60 feet away, so it's 1 hop, 2 hops, and it's that one where you don't know if it's grass or dirt before it gets there. I think he got it.
It was very close. Now the runner has stayed on down there at first base. Bernal, he's not leaving, so you get the idea.
I think he thought this ball was through, because it was almost like he started to turn around like he was going to round first base and then realized that the play was made over at third.
You know, Choi caught a little bit of a break too on that ball because it had enough spin. It actually came back to him.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think they got the right call. You can see Bernal. You talked about his
He's convinced.
emotions earlier. Yeah, he believes he's safe.
What'd you think? It looked to me like he was out.
Man, it was bang, bang. It looked like he was out.
And it could be one of those, if it's so close and there's nothing that's definitive, that you just stay with whatever the call was.
Yeah, and a lot of times the umpire down there first base will almost go on sound too to hear the ball smacking the glove. But what really might have thrown him off on that was the fact that the ball skipped in the dirt, so there were 3 sounds.
Yep.
Home plate umpire Bruce Klein waiting for the word.
Really good play too by Wante Cho, the first baseman.
Yeah,
I mean,
good dig.
The presence of mind by Yuban Choi, the third baseman, to pick it up barehanded, get the ball over there. But if he doesn't pick it cleanly at first base, it doesn't matter.
I don't know if we've got another look at it, but the ball had so much spin, it came right back to Choi, so he caught a break, didn't have to chase it down, and that might have been the difference. This is a big call, Kyle, that could have a lot to do with the outcome of the game. We talk about the team that builds the run has the advantage here. You can scratch one across, and that's huge. Here comes the call.
Call first, out.
Call stands. So they got it right.
You see the ball in the frame right now, into dirt, into glove.
Yeah,
it's really close, but I think he just got it.
I think he barely got him. So one man is out, but Panama still has a runner in scoring position. Tomas Sarmiento moved on to second base. So if you think of it this way, you know, he goes up with the idea of Bernal of bunting him over anyhow. So
did his job.
He did his job. He got the runner into scoring position, and now it's up to the big bats, and they've got him to do it here. Carlos Gonzalez, Esmit Pineda, a couple of great hitters for Panama. One of them comes up with a base hit here.
I think this is more of a discussion just about defense as opposed to anything on the mound. You got a base runner at second base. It just feels like a game to where one run is going to seem like a lot.
And the pitch count, let's talk about that again, Kyle, because we're at 48 here. And the big number is 65, but 50 is also in play.
Yeah. I mean, it's as of now, there won't be any. Yeah, you're right. I mean, 50 is the one if you want to come back on Saturday. 65 is the one if you want to come back on Sunday. So we'll see if either one of these managers decides to take a pitcher out based on one of those two.
That one kicks away, and that allows Sarmiento to move up to third base. So now you can get him home in a variety of ways.
You can. Our guy Bruce Klein behind home plate is going to be sitting in the ice tub tonight.
Yeah.
Because he's just kind of wearing them all over the place, and it's not his fault. There's nothing he can do. That one, the fastball misses on the other side. I don't even know if he's flinched.
Wild pitch moves Sarmiento onto third base. And Kim finds himself in an unusual spot. He's in a jam.
Yeah.
No strikes.
Now you're going to bring the infield in the third inning.
Yeah, that's tough.
So that's kind of the ultimate sign that I feel like one run might be enough to win today.
That one misses outside 2-0. Carlos Gonzalez. We see what he's done on the hill. He's been outstanding. Came into this one 4 of 7. 3 RBI and a double. So he's one of the big bats for Panama. So now a 3-0 count. got a bag open, but right behind Gonzalez is Esmit Pineda. He's homered in this tournament. Got a corner. That's a good view, Kyle.
Yeah, the kids from Curacao taking it in from up the hill.
The 3-1. That's low and out. So now Panama has them on the corners with one out. Do you move the middle back to double play depth, keep the corners up?
Well, it looks like they are. I think the hardest thing, you know, at upper levels of baseball, you would, because there's a much higher chance to turn a double play if the ground ball's up the middle. Here, it's so much tougher because you just have to rip it to have a chance.
Well, they've got a hitter in Esmit Pineda that could hit a hard ground ball. But boy, turning the double play, as you mentioned, so tough with the base paths 60 feet. Pineda can run too. Hard on the ground to third, to second for one. They did it. What a turn. A huge double play for South Korea, and the round the horn double play gets South Korea out of a jam.
You got a short memory in this game, and you've been Choi over at third base. Had a rough hop earlier. Well, he handles a rough hop right here and stops a 5-4-3 double play. Just the third time in this tournament South Korea has allowed a runner to third base, and they're erased right there. We talked about the grip of Carlos Gonzalez with a knuckle curve. This is what it looks like when it's coming in towards home plate. You see how it almost spins like a knuckleball. Watch those two fingers, the middle finger and the index finger. And then just right over the top, they're spitting that pitch out. You don't see this very much at any level, and you definitely don't see it at this level. You don't see how hard this is? Go home, take a tennis ball, take a baseball, take whatever you want. Try to throw it that way. Try to throw a true knuckle curve to where it's these two fingers that he's really throwing with. And when it comes out, he's pushing everything out when it goes towards home plate. It takes really big hands. It takes a ton of practice. He's doing a really good job.
Now throw it for a strike. That's not easy.
No.
And you mix in an 80-mile-an-hour fastball. Wow. That one's in there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Back to the top of the order. Jung Taek Roo struck out in the first. 6 strikeouts for Carlos Gonzalez through the first 3 innings. His counterpart, he has 6 too.
Velocity for kids of this age is one of the hardest things to simulate in practice. I mean, you can bring a net up if you throw a BP and bring it up a little bit closer. But now the second time around for the South Korea order, I think that's where we really see the adjustments that they make.
Yeah, they've seen him once. Not that it gets any easier, but at least they know what they're looking for. And there's a walk.
Safe.
Wow. How about the heads-up base running there by Jung Taek Roo? And that could be big because now there's a runner in scoring position for South Korea.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. 3-1 pitch, and Leonardo Bernal, the catcher, wanted it for a strike. So now we're looking at the dugout. He doesn't even see the base run.
Wow.
We're talking about heads up by Jung Taek Roo. If there is a time in this game to take a chance, it's right there because you're the first base runner of the ball game. We're in the 4th inning. South Korea doesn't have a hit. It might take something like that to score a run today, and Jung Taek Roo really heads up there to be standing on second base.
Yeah, very heads up play, and let's see what becomes of it now. Runner on second base with nobody out, so the walk proves to be costly. South Korea's first base runner, and he's down at second thanks to a heads-up play. So it's a walk and a stolen base, and a big one.
You get a stolen base without a pitch being thrown.
And he's doing that on his own, or is the first base coach telling him what's going on?
Well, I mean, I think it's something that they work on just to get around first base and see what it looks like. That's doing a job there, too.
Uh-oh, the throw is wild. It goes down the right field line, and we've got one run and a man on third. So just like that, South Korea puts the pressure on Panama by running, and it pays off for a run.
Well, he squares to bunt right there, then takes it back, and it's just a little slash to try to get that ball to the right side. And this is where the shorter field, I think, gets so much tougher, because watch how short this throw is. The minute it's not fielded, now they feel like they got to get it over there quick. The ball's a little bit down. It's tough for Melvin Jaramillo, the second baseman, to make the adjustment. And South Korea's on the board, and the ball, besides to throw it on the right field line, hasn't left the infield yet.
Tough break for Panama.
Tiene que estar vivo. Yo estaba haciendo eso de ayer. Vamos, entonces cierra el cuadro, cierra el cuadro. Vamos, vamos. Papá, está bien, vamos. No pasó nada. Vamos arriba. Tira tirando tu pelota. Juega adentro.
So Luis Gonzalez wants to know what's going on that play. And then tries to reaffirm to his pitcher, you're fine, everything's good. Let's go. He's throwing very, very, very well. But in a bit of a hole here, 1-0 South Korea. And a runner on third, nobody out for Min Ho Choi. Who's been very effective at the plate. 3 for 6, and the corner, the infield is up. And that hit him. Now Choi saying it hit him. The umpire has called foul ball. Judging by the reaction of Choi, I'd say he got hit.
Yeah, I don't think kids at this age can think fast enough to maybe try to make it look as if it hit him if it didn't. And if it did, that's really going to hurt. Those fingers right around the bat. Squared to bunt, and his body really opened up towards the pitcher's man, so it's a lot tougher to get out of the way. See if we can hear.
May have got his.
Yeah, watch how his fingers surround that bat. So kids at home, when you learn to bunt, watch that, the finger on the front of the bat, and that's the one ultimately that might have got him more on the hand.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you almost want to cup that bat to where your fingers are back behind it. You get around it, because even if he would have bunted that ball, if it's right where his fingers are, that could have hit his fingers.
So seeing young Kim, I think ultimately the ruling is going to be a hit by pitch.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, if he's not in the act of bunting, then your hands aren't. They're not part of the bat. If he's swinging, then they definitely are. If he's going to bunt, and that's the one thing we can see it when he goes to bunt. And normally you're not going to want to bunt the ball here anyway. You're going to want to bunt it more up in where the barrel is. But his hands are all the way around it like this. Instead of, you want to hide it. You get it back behind, then you can deaden the ball with the barrel up in here. But his fingers got all the way around it, and it looked like when he was pulling it back, it still hit him back here. But that's, for a lot of these kids, they haven't had to bunt that much, so they're not really used to it. It's just a small thing that as you get older, it's a lot easier to control the bat, and it's just a lot safer for your fingers.
Well, as they take a look at Kim's hand, I can tell you all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including scores, stats, highlights, and much more, can be found on LLBWS.org, or you can follow along on social media with the hashtag LLWS. So it looks like Bruce Klein has ruled that the pitch did indeed hit Kim.
I think it absolutely did.
I guess the only real decision to make here is whether or not he was attempting to bunt or whether he was pulling his hand back, and it looked like he was coming back.
Yeah, it seemed to me like he was absolutely pulling it back. I mean, he clearly squares. You can see the fingers all the way around the bat, but at this point it looks like everything's trying to get out of the way. If he's making an attempt, it's a foul ball. But he wasn't. It looks like he's pulling it back, and that's going to hurt for a while.
Yeah, Carlos Gonzalez is bringing it in there, and all of a sudden here for Panama, they're in quite a spot. 1 run in, runners at the corners, and nobody out. So the first 9 Korean hitters were all retired, and the next 3 have all reached base without a base hit.
Yeah, walk, an infield error, and a hit by pitch, and now you got to face maybe the best overall hitter.
Yeah, this won't be easy. Throw down to first, not in time. So Sangyeon Park hoping to keep this rally going.
Yes, he did.
He offered. We're even 1-1.
1-1. Here we go.
The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Good job there by Bernal to hold on to it. Keep the runners on their bases. Bernal's itching to throw that baseball.
Just wants to throw it somewhere.
We watched in warm-ups. He should want to throw it. He's got a cannon. Look at, he's telling him, go on, try it.
Play.
Just after the pitch. Pretty good job just to take the short hop on the foul ball, too. It looked like he was inviting the runner to go.
He does snap throw down the first there.
Careful now. You don't want to throw this ball down the right field line and throw him another run.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want here.
Big strikeout right there at a time that you need it for Carlos Gonzalez. Another fastball that gets one of the best hitters on this South Korean team down for the first out of the inning.
Kyle, you know playing with emotion can be good, but can also get the best of you at times, too. You got to keep the emotions in check.
Especially in this game. The minute this game starts to speed up in your mind is usually when things start to go the wrong way.
Yubin Choi. That is lifted in the air to right. Calderon makes the catch. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's not in time. And South Korea pushes across another run. So the sac fly works to perfection. And South Korea with 2 runs, and they're yet to get their first base hit.
And other than maybe Sung Kwan, the second hitter of the ball game, this is the best hit ball of the day. And a good job by Yubin Choi just to get something elevated deep in the outfield. It was played really well by Enel Calderon, the right fielder. I mean, he waited. All the momentum was coming in to make that catch, but it was just too deep to have any chance to throw the runner out.
So now 2 outs and the runner at second base. Well, you get a 3-0 lead in this game, Kyle, and that feels like 10.
One ball, one strike.
Again, Cho just right up there on home plate. Misses out. Velocity's still there, 78 miles an hour on that pitch for Gonzalez. And you're seeing frustration take its toll, right?
You got to think, for a 12, 13-year-old kid that throws this hard, he doesn't give up many runs.
No.
You can probably count on his, I don't know, but you can probably count on his hand the number of times he has given up runs. Anywhere.
Particularly when you haven't given up a hit.
Yeah.
Swung on and missed for the 2-2. Some of the game within the game, Kyle, are the catcher and his signs to the pitcher when you've got a runner at second base. You want to do your best to mix it up and disguise it so the sign can't be picked off and flashed into the hitter.
Let's see now, we're not even putting numbers down, just going signs on the mask, signs on the chest protector. Usually it's a first sign, last sign, something like that, but that's just making sure that base runner doesn't see it.
And you're seeing, in some cases, the catcher setting up inside at the last minute, hopping outside, not giving the hitter an advantage of knowing where the pitch is coming. Outside here, misses high and out. And there's first and second now with 2 outs. And that one almost got away. The throw back from Bernal, barely handled by Carlos Gonzalez, and if that gets by him and into the outfield,
it might go to the wall.
It might go to the wall, and you'd get at least one in, and who knows. And I think this is a smart move by the manager for Panama to come out, Luis Gonzalez and sort of settle things down.
2-0 no hay nada. Nosotros hemos más de 2 carreras. Saca línea y nosotros lo podemos. Hemos tenido problemas para no se puede. Nosotros lo vamos a poner. Quedan 3 innings para hacer la carrera.
2 outs.
Aquí no tenemos una que perder, pero nada. Igual, sí, vamos a divertirnos en este juego. Vamos arriba.
All we need is 3 runs. You're not going to give up any more. We can do this.
Look how laid back he is when he goes out there, too. I mean, if
very
there's a time
calm.
those are the times at any level. If you're a coach of any kind that goes out to the mound, when your team seems like they're speeding up, it's a good time mentally just to try to slow everybody down.
And they're going to feed off your energy.
Absolutely. I mean, you go up fired up and everything else, and everybody just gets even more amped up.
And Luis Gonzalez is absolutely right. This is a critical point of the game. You have to hold them to 2. 3 is manageable, perhaps. But you get beyond that, and that's going to feel like Everest. Squares to bunt, pushes it foul. Angled the bat, Kyle. The handle out a little more than the barrel, and that's going to knock it foul most times.
Yeah, with 2 outs here, trying to bunt for a hit. You can see how late that he showed. So we're not trying to push anybody up 60 feet when you've got 2 outs. So waited as long as he could, and if it goes foul right away, it's okay. You got 2 more to work with. Sack bunt's a different deal. If you're bunting for a hit with no strikes, nothing wrong with trying to be perfect with the first one.
Jun-Hyuk Lee pinch hitting here for South Korea.
Just about got it.
Wow. That was close. Boy, Bernal is a fiery player back there.
Watch his throw. Wow, it's close. It's close.
He swipe tags there. It's going to be real close. You got to love this kid's arm. He is not afraid to throw it. When he lets it go, you hear it.
It's demonstrative.
1-1 catches the corner. .67 pitches now, and you can see here any pitcher who throws more than 65 will not pitch again in this Little League World Series. And there's the swing and the miss and the tag. Not necessary, but the inning is over. South Korea scores twice. They do it without a hit. Panama's got some work to do, trailing 2-0. No surprise here. It's been a pitching dominant game. South Korea and Panama, they are throwing it. South Korea pushes 2 across in the top of the 4th. They do it without the benefit of a base hit. In fact, they're still looking for their first hit of the game. It's our Honda game summary. And Kyle, we said at the top, we're going to see some great pitching, and we've seen exactly that.
Yeah, we have. I mean, just 1 combined hit so far in this ball game. We've gone 3.5 innings so far. The velocity's been there for the most part. The control's been there. But just aggressive base running on the part of South Korea really changed the course of that inning. Leadoff walk ends up at second base because the catcher Leonardo Bernal was looking in towards the dugout, and then everything just started moving quick.
That's the way it happens sometimes on a baseball field, and the look of Carlos Gonzalez sort of tells the story. He's got to be wondering, hey, how do I fall down 2-0 without giving up a single base hit? But that's where we are as we start the bottom of the 4th now. Joaquin Tejada, one of the better bats for Panama. Looks at ball 1.
Remember now, it's been a while since Jake Young Kim, the pitcher, has been out there. It was a long half inning.
He starts with 2 straight balls. Yeah, that can knock the edge off a pitcher, particularly when he's working in a rhythm and everything's going his way. And the rhythm of the game has been quick, quick, quick. Yeah. And then he goes and sits in the dugout for 10-15 minutes, and now he's got to try to reel it back in.
That's where the right foot is when he goes towards home plate. Yeah, he's in front of it that time. It almost looked like before that he was throwing on top of the rubber instead of in front of it.
That might have been because he was uncomfortable with the little hole that was created there, but that's important too, that a pitcher can drive in and push off that rubber, get a little more leg action into his delivery. Swung on and missed to even the count at 2-2. Misses high. Panama would love to get the leadoff runner on here. Kim's pitch count now. This is his 60th pitch. And he throws that one by him. Starts the inning with a strikeout. Tonight it's Wednesday Night Baseball. Bitter NL rivals Buster Posey and the Giants in Los Angeles to take on Rookie of the Year candidate Corey Seager and the Dodgers. Coverage begins baseball tonight, 9:30 Eastern with Adnan Virk, Aaron Boone, and Tim Kirkshin from here in Williamsport, PA. It's also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Things are getting tight out there in the NL West.
Dodgers beat Bumgarner in Game 1.
That's a message win too, isn't it? Edouard Betancourt swings through the first pitch. And it's 0-2. We may look back, Kyle,
The ball's 2 strikes.
to the bottom of the third when Panama hit into that critical inning-ending double play. They had first and third, one out. Corners were up, and Yubin Choi, who had kicked the ball earlier in the inning, like you said, short memory, picked it cleanly, threw over to second, on to first for the double play. Big opportunity. So a 3-pitch strikeout, and when you're counting pitches, that's probably the best you can hope for.
Yeah, it does. His strikeout number 7 of the day for Jae-Kyung Kim, and this time not really wasting any time. The fastball is still very, very good, and that's almost exclusively what he's gone with in this ballgame. Not a lot of breakables, fastball in and out.
Jose Torres out now.
You see that pitch count too in the lower right-hand corner at 64 pitches. If they want Jae-Kyung Kim to be eligible for Sunday, this would be his last hitter. If he pushes past 65 and starts another hitter past 65, that would be it for the tournament.
First pitch strike. We talk about the importance of it all the time, particularly here. We've seen a lot of them today. He's just pouring it in his zone now.
This so far has been his most impressive inning. Has not faced the minimum in any inning. This time he struck out the first 2 in an 0-2 count.
Misses out there with a 74-mile-an-hour fastball. Jose Torres, 5'3", 104. Knocks that one into right field, and that's going to be a base hit. So how about that? It's been the bottom of the order for Panama, delivering the 2 base hits.
First at bat for Jose Torres, and gets in an 0-2 count. Fights it back to 1-2, and then really good job of this fastball that's mid-70s down, outside part of the plate, drives it out to right. Second hit of the game for Panama. He will keep on going.
So they're committed to him now.
Yeah, because of the required rest. Now we've pushed past 65, so he'll require 4 days of rest, which would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So now I just think you ride it through the rest of this one.
Hit hard on the ground to second. Min-Ho Choi gobbles it up and throws across for the out. We've played 4. South Korea up on Panama 2-0. Welcome back to the Little League World Series presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. We said pitching would have a lot to do with the outcome, and you might have to scratch a run or 2 across. And Kyle, that's exactly what we've seen.
Yeah, we have South Korea 2 runs on no hits so far, and then so much of that was because of the right arm of Carlos Gonzalez, who was throwing BBs. First pitch of the game was 80, got it as high as 81. Velocity wasn't the issue. For the most part, control wasn't the issue today. But South Korea with some aggressive base running and a few mistakes on the side of Panama, ends up pushing 2 across. Now Edouard Betancourt is the new pitcher, the little left-hander number 3 coming in. For South Korea does not have a hit at this point. The move right here is just to make sure that Carlos Gonzalez, if they make it to Sunday in the championship game, is available to pitch in that one, and he would be.
5'3", 99 pounds. Pumps the first one in there for a strike. So this will be a big change of pace for the South Koreans that were seeing BBs thrown at them. Now they've got a looping curveball to deal with. See how they make the adjustment.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Jung Ho Jong swings through that one, 1-2. Talk about the change of pace, Kyle, when you see somebody who's throwing absolute gas and then you've got someone coming in throwing the slow looping curveball.
Just such a different look. Before you had to be dialed up for 80 miles an hour, and now you got to be dialed up for different side. Left-hander as opposed to right-handers. Try to run it down away.
Just tell your kids, stay back. That one's hit a tough spot on the ground. Gonzalez uses that missile to throw across for the foot out. I didn't think he had a chance, but I forgot that it was Gonzalez down there at third. Wow.
I'll check out Edouard Betancourt, the pitcher, too. About right now, he's like, oh, hold on. This is going right over the top of my head. Carlos Gonzalez starts the game on the mound.
Wow.
Solid throw on the run that had plenty on it to get the first out.
Just a terrific athletic play. Has to throw across his body, coming in. No time to plant and throw, and just makes the perfect play for the first out here. Top of the 5th. That is lifted high and foul down the left field line. And it's down. So the challenge, I would imagine, for Luis Gonzalez, the Panama manager at this point, would be keeping his kids in it.
Yeah, part of it is just look at the board. You know, I mean, you're a base runner and 1 swing away from tying this thing. We saw this earlier in this tournament for Australia. They're down 2 runs going into the 6th inning, hadn't done anything offensively, get a base runner on, hit a home run, then it's a totally different ballgame.
Human Lee, the pinch hitter, fouls that one back to go to 1-2.
One ball, 2 strikes. Play.
1-2.
Ball.
Skips in for a ball. Gets him swinging, but the ball gets away from Bernal, and South Korea is going to have another base runner without a base hit.
You know, it's also a totally different look for Leonardo Bernal, the catcher, too, because left-hander Edouard Betancourt at this point, when he throws it on that side of the plate, it's probably going to have a little cut because he usually gets around it. You can see the spin that's taking it away from Bernal. He was trying to get that pitch on the outside part of the plate, come all the way back to the inside part of the plate. Bruce Klein wore another one back.
He got it again. Bruce may be looking at the scoreboard too. How many outs do we have?
He has earned his meal ticket tonight.
Wow. So 1 on, 1 out.
Time.
Now that was odd. The hitter called for time, but it was never granted. The pitcher just stopped.
Yep.
On the ground to Carlos Gonzalez at third, to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. So Jung Taek-woo with the ground out for the second out of the inning. The Little League Grow the Game grant program was created to provide local Little Leagues the resources they need for general improvement and to expand or establish Little League Softball, Little League Challenger Division, and Little League Urban Initiative programs. For more information, visit littleleague.org/grow the game. So 2 outs, top of the 5th. The runner sort of hung up out there on first base. That gives Bernal another chance to fire it down and show off the arm, but
he sees any daylight.
Rue gets back.
Take a shot.
Yeah, he's not afraid to throw it. Kwan knocks that one foul.
No balls, 2 strikes. Play.
Rue stole the last time he was on first base, and Kyle, he's done it again. He is off in a hurry, and the ball was bobbled. Now the umpire saying you left too early. Come on back.
Flag. We threw the flag. I love the red flag.
Watch him go here. Oh, yeah, clearly left early.
Looked like he was going on first movement with the kid on the mound.
He may left early there. I don't think it's going to matter. He's out. What a throw by Bernal. We've told you about the arm. Kyle got to flash it there.
Yeah, that might have surprised him before, but then I got to surprise him again. The right arm of Leonardo Bernal. He's not afraid to use it. You give him an opportunity. Lets that one fly, and it ends the inning. Still no hits for South Korea, but they lead it 2-0.
Aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Kyle Panama is running out of outs.
Yeah. Offensively, been a challenge so far for Panama, and it will be the same arm on the mound. Jae-Kyuk Kim trying to finish this one out. This is where this game turned back into third inning. First and third, 1 out. And the defense of Yoo-Bin Choi gets South Korea out of the inning. That ball gets through, or they don't turn to double play. Panama would have taken the lead. So a leadoff walk to start the fourth. This Jung-Tak Ryu, we saw him just try to steal. This time he did steal, but he did it without a pitch. Walks off to second, and then scores here. Mishandled a little bit, and then that throw is tough for anybody to handle. Down the right field line, Ryu scores the first run of the game. Sung Kwan was the hitter. He would end up at third base and would come in to score later on that inning. So 2 runs for South Korea on no hits. And it's happened, but it's only happened once where a team has thrown a no-hitter and lost. It was back in 2008.
Kim fires in the first pitch, strike to Melvin Harmareo. Healthy cut. Threw it for strike 2.
Like it first at bat for Melvin Jaramillo, and
0-2.
he's not getting cheated either. Number 1's going after it.
5 foot, 105 pounds, but the 2 hits from Panama today have come from the bottom of the order. A couple of little guys. At this point, Kyle, you take a base runner any way you can get it.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Especially to start the inning. Lineup turns over after this. You get the big boys coming up, and you'd like to have somebody on there so one swing could tie it.
That one gets away for a full count now. Yeah, it's amazing how that first run, you cut it to 2-1. That seems doable. Right now, 2-0 the way he's throwing. Boy, it's a tall task.
And I don't think just because of the pitch counts at 75 now that Jae-Kyung, it's almost a lock that he can't finish this game. There's plenty more behind it.
Jaramillo wanted it, didn't get it. Calls strike 3s for the first out here in the 5th. So here's what's at stake here. South Korea holds on to win, and they punch their ticket, Kyle, to the International Championship game. That's Saturday, 12:30 on ABC. The losing team, and you talked about this earlier, their road all of a sudden gets a whole lot more difficult because now they've got to play their way through the elimination side.
You play a Mexico team that offensively has been on fire. The last 3 games, they've been as good offensively as anybody in this tournament, lead the tournament in home runs, but you've got to play another day. So you're using more arms, won't be as ready for the weekend. But the winner of that game tomorrow will still advance to the International Championship game. Winner tonight gets the automatic ticket there.
Panama did beat Mexico 10-2 in the opener, so they might have the psychological advantage. Tomas Sarmiento swings through strike 1. That one's out. So it can be done. The usual path to the championship is to win your first 3, rest your arms, and see what happens. But the degree of difficulty goes way up for Panama if this score holds. And getting close to the pitch count here. 85 is the limit. That's swung on and missed. So if he gets him, presumably they have a few pitches to work with to try to get out of the 5th, and then South Korea would just have to get by with 1 inning from the bullpen. Before we talk about the depth of arms, they may be deeper at pitching than anyone we've seen.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think Bruce is losing some of his enthusiasm behind the plate. Did you hear that?
I would have lost some of the first inning.
Ball.
It's a long, thankless day back there. Strike zone's been really good.
So we're full to Sarmiento. And that one misses. Awfully close. But Panama has what they're looking for, and that's a base runner. So likely will bring 2 hitters to the plate here representing the tying run, barring a double play. Leonardo Bernal, the catcher for Panama, 2 for 8 in this World Series. Big at bat here. Caught the corner. So we're to that point now, 83 pitches. Panama, Kyle, has had a base runner in every inning and nothing to show for it. Fouled back to get to 0-2. So this will be his last hitter. He'll be at the 85 pitch limit after this pitch. He can finish this batter, but no more.
Play.
Trying to get him to chase. The 1-2. Got him. So 2 outs in the 5th, and South Korea will make a pitching change.
It's quite a day right there for Jae-Kyung Kim, because this is a Panama offense that is very powerful. It can do a lot of things. 4 2/3 inning, the pitch count gets him, but he leaves with the lead. So new arm for South Korea. Still up 2-0.
You know, they've been calling them like they see them for years. And for these umpires, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Because for them, there's no higher honor than this.
And there he is. Our tough guy award of the day goes to Bruce Klein.
Bruce better not be buying dinner tonight. Somebody better be buying Bruce's dinner, because he's done a very good job. The zone has been really good, but he's just been getting beat up a little bit back there, and the velocity, you know, that can't feel very good. Jae-Kyung Kim is out after 4 2/3 innings, went above that 85 pitch count, so he is out and ineligible the rest of the Little League World Series, but did his job today. 9 strikeouts, walked just 3. So now Jun-Ho Jong, who's already pitched in this Little League World Series, and in the 4 innings that he's been on the mound, he struck out 10. So not a lot changes stuff-wise. The look is different. It's kind of sidearm, so for Carlos Gonzalez coming up, it won't look the same as he saw the last 2 times up.
And with 2 outs and a runner on, down by 2, what's Cargo thinking here?
He's thinking 2-2.
Yeah, he is. You can see Jun-Seo Cho is setting up outside. They're not going to mess around here. I don't imagine Gonzalez will see anything too pretty, but Asmeet Pineda on deck would represent the go-ahead run if Gonzalez gets on, and that's not a fun spot because we've seen him go deep.
Yeah, he has.
So it's a pick your poison here. And the first three are wide from Jong. And now at 3-0, do you give him green light here or no?
I think you give Gonzalez the green light, yeah. And I think if you're on the mound, this one might be further outside than the last three.
And he misses wide, so the 4-pitch walk. And now all of a sudden things get very interesting because the new pitcher comes on, throws 4 wide ones. And here comes Esmeet Pineda representing the go-ahead run. So if you're Panama, all you can ask for is a chance, and they've got it. Had something cooking in the third, and an inning-ending 5-4-3 double play set up by Yuvan Choi ended that threat. Message there from the first base coach: whatever happens, you're running.
2 outs, ball put in play. We'll see if Esmeet Pineda, one of the youngest players here, can do it for Panama.
And that's now 5 straight wide ones for Junho Jong. He's looking into the dugout for help, but he can't get any. He's on his own. That is now 6 straight. At what point, if you're Luis Gonzalez, are you telling your hitters,
take one?
Take one. Is it here?
Yeah, probably, because all 6 misses have been in the exact same spot too. So it's just Junho Jong just hasn't found that release point yet. That's the first time. That one caught the outside corner of the plate. But everything, I think the one thing you tell your hitters is climb on top of the plate, because everything. The 1 strike was on the outside corner, and the other misses, all 6, have been away.
So the 2-1 to Pineda. That is hit high and deep and out. And there it is. The moment Panama has been waiting for, the 3-run blast, and Panama jumps out to the 3-2 lead. Wow.
This swing. Trying to go with a breaking ball, and that one just stayed right in the middle. And you think he knew he got it? He knew it right away. Reaction right when it comes off the bat. Esmeet Pineda knew he got it, and that's why.
Wow, over the back fence.
Not 2 fences. Yeah, I don't blame you. The same reaction. That ball had to go close to 300 feet, past the flagpole, past the second fence. And Panama gets their first lead of the day.
And it comes from an 11-year-old. How about that? And now there is life in that Panama dugout. Now just 3 outs away from playing for the international championship on Saturday. And now that the pressure's off, Jung throws perhaps his best pitch of the 9 he's thrown. The 0-1. That misses again outside. Pineda, one of 7 players in this Little League World Series with multiple home runs. And how about that, Kyle?
South Korea's first 2 ball games had not allowed a run.
3 big ones on 1 swing. And the Panama crowd on its feet. The called strike 3 to end the bottom half of the 5th, but Panama gets 3, and Kyle, they're 3 outs from playing for the international championship.
You think they're glad they put the 11-year-old on the team? Esmeet Pineda changes this one with 1 swing, 3-run home run to left center. 3-2 Panama to the 6th.
Little League World Series is presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal. They're great!
Two walks and a blast. And just like that, Panama is 3 outs away now from playing for the International Championship on Saturday. Kyle, how far did this one go?
Yeah, this isn't a bad view of it, huh? From high above Volunteer Stadium, not one fence, two fence, three fences over the flagpoles, 268 to the flagpole, and beyond that second fence, that ball had to go close to 300 feet. And that's the difference so far for Panama. So the 3-run home run from Pineda in the 5th. Carlos Gonzalez went 4, didn't give up a hit. Jae-Kyung Kim was outstanding on the mound, went 4 2/3 innings, struck out 9. South Korea has never lost in 4 trips here to the Little League World Series. Panama gets 3 outs and does not allow a run. They will be on to the International Championship game.
Well, Joaquin Tejada's on for the final 3 outs, and this young man has been very good on the bump for Panama. 4 1/3, 9 strikeouts. He's allowed just 1 hit, no earned runs. But Kyle, in that 4 1/3 inning performance, he walked 5. The bunt's a beauty. So is the throw. The call is out. We're going to get a challenge. That was close, Kyle. I wouldn't want to have to make it, but it looked like it was a tie.
Yeah, I think he's safe. I think he's safe, and it's a really good play by Bernal to barehand this. I think he's safe. Yeah. I think that foot just hits the bag.
Wow. This angle will show us. Yeah, foot's on it. He's safe. So how big is that for South Korea? Seum Kwan with a terrific bunt. Bernal, an outstanding play and throw, but 60 feet evaporates in a hurry.
And that'll be the first hit of the ballgame.
You're right.
I mean, you take base runners any way you can get them right now for South Korea, but it looks like that'll be a bunt single to start the inning. You got the middle of the order coming up. It's 3, 4, 5 to follow.
Typically, you don't ask your 3, 4, 5 hitters to lay down a bunt, but you're build a run mode now. You get them on, you get them over, and you try to get them in.
I think he'll let them swing.
You do?
I do. I think he'll let them swing and see if somebody can't run into another one.
So we're waiting for the official call. Here comes Bruce Klein. Kyle and I think he's safe.
Safe.
And he is. Wow. So South Korea with nice life here. Leadoff runner on to start the bottom half, or excuse me, the top half of the 6th.
But now if you're Panama defensively, and I think that's exactly what to talk about here, you do have to be ready for that bunt. I don't know if they'll do it or not. You got to make sure you're ready.
If you're South Korea too.
Brian, vas a segundo y tú muévete rápido a primero. Oye, estamos bien, ¿ok? Tranquilo, no hay preocupación. Tira strike, ok, la jugada fue apretada, bueno, no se pudo. Tranquilo, te veo bien, relájate, vamos. Vamos con este jueguito que está bueno, vamos arriba, vamos arriba, vamos arriba.
Yo confío en ti, mano.
All right, just relax, throws strikes. It's a fun game, everything's fine. And before you're wondering if I'm fluent, no, we have outstanding translators in the truck. I can't do that.
Yeah, we've got plenty of help on that one. Remember, you've got the lead. You're ahead at this point. Jose De Leon helping us out in the translation on that one, and you can see for Panama their corners. Carlos Gonzalez at third base about 35 feet away. Wow. Be careful there.
Yeah, be careful indeed. Min Ho Choi showing bunt, pulling back and swinging.
I don't think they're bunting.
I don't think they would either. After seeing what happened there, boy, you're about 50 feet away if you're on the corner there. Showing bunt, swinging through, strike 2. You talk about a spot. This is one right here.
Joaquin Tejada running it up to 79 miles an hour.
And you're squaring to start.
Just keep rolling them out there.
Squaring again, pulling back. Just misses outside. So high drama on each pitch from here on out now, as Panama desperately needs 3 outs to get to the International Championship game on Saturday. Tejada, the wind, and the pitch, and he blows it by for the first out of the 6th.
Power arms that are getting run out there today. 79 miles an hour. Gets in a plus count with 2 strikes. And Min Ho Choi, one of the best hitters on South Korea. Not a lot of people, period, that could catch up with that one. Elevated fastball at 79 miles an hour. The major league equivalent of over 100. And it's the first out of the inning.
Misses high at 79 to Sanghyun Park. 103 miles an hour when you do the translation. The 1-0 to Park. Swings on a ball that was out of the zone. It gets by Bernal, and down to second goes the runner now. So now, how does that change the outlook?
I don't think it changes anything at the plate. I think at the plate you're going to do the exact same thing.
1 ball, 1 strike.
But you get 2 more of those to the backstop, and we got a tie ball game. It's the hardest part right now for a catcher, because you got a kid throwing so hard that if he misses his spot by a ways, there's just not enough time to react.
Top of the zone for strike 2. Park doesn't like it. You can feel the tension, Kyle, in the dugouts of both sides.
This one's been fun.
The 1-2 from Tejada. Took something off and missed. Outfield is practically against the fence, trying to keep everything in front of them. You'd think a single and we would have a play at the plate. Swing and a miss for the second out of the inning. Panama now 1 out from playing for the international title. Yubin Choi, the last hope for South Korea. He's dialed in, Kyle.
He just keeps pouring that fastball in there. Bunt single to start off this inning, and then 2 of the best hitters for South Korea. Strikeout on fastballs. Remember, win today and you're in the international championship game. The loser would play tomorrow. It would take a win there to get to the same spot.
Sped up his bat with the curveball, and he fouled it down the third baseline. So now at 0-2, you've got everything at your disposal. You saw what he did with the curveball there. Do you come high heat?
Yep. Fastball up and out of the zone, and if he doesn't swing at it, throw it again.
Got a few to work with here. Joaquin Tejada peers in and throws. That one gets away. The runner moves on to third. 1 more of those, Kyle. And we're tied.
Now we get a little more interested. This is where that first pass ball, and obviously everyone after makes a big difference too, but that first one, that base runner gets out to second base. Now you got to think about it a little bit. I think you just rear back, pump that fastball in there, and see if you can't just throw it by him and end this one.
And if you're Choi, you're probably sitting fastball, because he knows that a curveball in the dirt that gets away ties it. You got to think fastball. The 1-2. Wow.
Take.
The throw down to third. Are you kidding?
Be careful now.
Are you kidding? Boy, that is about as risky a move you want to ever see a catcher make. The only way you let that ball out of your hand is if you know for sure you have him.
Yeah, now he's just counting on Tejada. See if he can make one pitch here.
Big pitch here. All of Panama is watching. The 2-2. Hit on the ground to short. Sarmiento throws, and Panama will play for the international championship on Saturday. How about that, Kyle?
That was
fun. A couple of walks and a blast in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And Panama is now 1 game away from playing for the Little League World Series title.
What a game. South Korea not done yet. I mean, you got to beat them twice to knock them out of this thing, and There are plenty of arms on that side. Quick turnaround. They'll play Mexico tomorrow. The winner of that will face Panama. International Championship game Saturday on ABC.
And if we get a redo of this one, I'll be watching every pitch. That was fun. South Korea gets Mexico for a chance to get to the international title game and see Panama again. A terrific one here from Volunteer Stadium. South Korea scores 2 with just 1 hit. Panama gets a couple of walks and a blast in the bottom of the 5th. And they're going to the international title game. For Kyle Peterson, Marisol Castro, I'm Jay Crawford saying so long from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Now over to Adnan and Baseball Tonight.